Hi there, welcome to Golf FM. This is a quick video. Try to be quick anyway. None of my videos are particularly quick, but we'll give it a go. A quick video on what the new i530 from Ping looks like in terms of every iron. So sometimes when you're buying sets or you're thinking about buying a set, you want to see what some of the longer irons look like. You always pretty much get a picture of the 7 in tests and that sort of thing, but you don't always see what the wedge looks like, you don't always see what the 5 iron looks like, and the 4 iron, if that exists in your makeup as well. You're going to be sadly disappointed actually on the 4 iron front because I don't have one. And that is because they are so strong. Now the 7 iron is 29 degrees, which is really strong. A standard old-fashioned 7 iron, if you don't know, would have been about 35 degrees, 34 degrees in a blade, and they've just got stronger and stronger and stronger, which means that when you go to the pitching wedge, you get left with 42 degrees on the pitching wedge. Now that is too much of a gap. I've got these around the wrong way. I had 9U pitching wedge. It's actually quite easy to get mixed up with wedges and things these days, but that is how it goes, 9 wedge U in my set. So I go 5 to U wedge, and the U wedge I've had bent from its original 47 degrees to 46, because now that leaves me with 42, 46 and 50 in my gap wedge. So I've got 4 degrees of gap, so there's a nice even spread of lofts, even though they are incredibly strong. I've just recently gone back to these after a highly unsuccessful year of using the Blueprint S iron. I wanted to have something that was a bit thinner, a bit smaller, a bit nicer, but sadly when you hit that anywhere near not out the middle, it seems to fall out the air incredibly quickly. So there is a little bit of forgiveness in it, but I think you have to be very careful if you're thinking about Blueprint S, because you need to be somebody who's hitting the middle of the club quite a lot, and I just simply am not, for a number of reasons. One is not playing very much, and one is lack of ability. But it is a fact of life that forgiveness is built in to certain clubs, and for me the forgiveness is, if you hit a fairly straight shot, how well does it hold on to that distance when you know you haven't hit it that well? And in Blueprint S, it was just falling out the air. I was coming up 20-30 yards short of a target, whereas clubs I've had before, which are hollow bodied and more forgiving, like this i530, they were getting to the front edge of the green when I would hit them like that. So I was putting instead of pitching from 20 or 30 yards, so it's a lot harder to score from there. So anyway, on with having a look at what each iron looks like. So this is the U wedge. So I'll give you an overall picture of it first, just from the top, and then we'll pick it up, put it down on the ground, and have a look at it from there. So I think the top line for a club that is so forgiving and so powerful is not too bad at all. And if you put that down next to my Blueprint S pitching wedge, so there we go, there's the two together. Now, I don't know, before I tell you, do you even know which one the Blueprint S is? Blueprint S is this one. Okay, Blueprint S. So that's the one I was struggling to hit, but the top line actually isn't that bad. Still got the Blueprint S, because basically every time anyone picks it up in the shop, I tell them to put it down, and it's too difficult to hit, so I'm struggling to sell it. So onto the pitching wedge, 42 degrees. There we go from the top. I think it's a nice looking club from the top, even with that notch out the back, which the demos don't have, but you don't see it when you're using it. So let's have a look at the top line. Again, quite slim. Let's have a wee look at this view down here. There we go. So you can sort of see what it looks like sitting on the ground. But yeah, it's a nice looking club. Nice thin top line. 9 iron, similar, just run through a bit quicker. It's a 9 iron, looks quite strong, but they all are in this set. So 8 iron, let's just get this up quickly. Get a nice look to it. Nothing stand out or bad about any of them at the moment. They are, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you pick up a set of these, how thin the top line is and how little offset. 7 iron. 7 iron, yeah, it does look strong when you see it like this. Certain angles it makes it look strong. But again, nice look to it, nothing untoward. We're nearly there, guys. The ordeal's nearly over. 6 iron. 6 iron, which is 25.5 degrees, so strong. There it is, still looks good to me. And the last one in my set, the 5 iron, which is 22 degrees, and the reason I didn't go 4 iron is because my rescue is 19 degrees, and what's the point in having a 19 degree 4 iron and a 19 degree rescue? I'm going to do virtually the same thing, except the 4 iron is going to be a lot harder to hit. So I stopped at the 22 degree 5 iron, thought that was more than enough club. And there it is there, with all its 22 degrees on it. And you don't see any of the back or anything like that. There's no bulge there, unwanted sort of bulge that you sometimes see on longer irons and sets like this. Just clean lines, very little offset and a fairly thin top line considering what it's doing. Of interest, I've got the Dynamic Gold 105 S300 shaft. I swing my 7 iron at about 85 miles an hour, if that's of any use to you. And I used to always use Dynamic Gold shafts, standard S300s when I was a bit younger, but just feel this lighter one is easier to hit and nicer to hit and goes a bit further. So looking forward to getting out on the golf course with these. I've had them for a wee while, but the weather's been bad and then Christmas got in the way and I just haven't had a chance to play. So the one benefit of that was they weren't dirty and I didn't have to clean them before this video. So that's it. So if you've got any questions about these irons, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. But I have done quite a few videos on these. In fact, I've got videos coming out my ears on i530. So be sure to watch them if you want any more information. They're certainly not short of information. And so I think that's it. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.